Hi. As mentioned, I am a little sick, so I will be doing both parts. I'm going to start off with Mr. McGill here. So I'm Mr. McGill now. So I shot the guy who came into my shed to take my car parts. I didn't know. I knew that there were a few strings of robberies in my neighborhood over the past 6 months. Um, and I had a shotgun that I kept in my utility closet. So as I heard, the banging of someone breaking into my property, I grabbed the shotgun and I went over to the shed and I wanted to see what was going on. So I was heading over there. Leaned down and then kind of saw some feet, and the guy was looking through my stuff. And next thing I know, he just comes straight at me. I panicked and I screamed like a child, and I shot my gun a few times. And I didn't know. It turns out I hit him, and he died. I hit him a few times, and I really just want to figure out what we can do here. I don't think that a second degree murder charge is fair for me. I didn't mean to murder the guy, and I believe that would be just completely outrageous. Great. So I'm gonna be Johnny Lawyer now. This is my lawyer hat. Great. So I'm the lawyer now. So basically, what I got from my client goals is he's trying to get a lesser charge. I'm trying to do either self defense or I want to set up a plea agreement saying that this was in fact involuntary manslaughter. What the other side is trying to do is give us a second, get us a plea agreement for the same charge, a second degree murder charge for it looks like 10 years, and I don't think that's right. I think that we should get something a little less for my client here, because I don't think he acted knowingly. So basically, with my negotiation plan, the legal authority, it says the second degree murder has to be, knowing killing of another, but in fact, he did. There's no indication that my client knowingly killed the intruder. He just fired off a few rounds when he was scared. The footsteps going towards him took him by surprise. So I think it would definitely fall more into the category of involuntary manslaughter, which is the reckless killing of another. I don't think he had the culpability to knowing for the second degree murder, and I don't think that any court would find that. From a non-legal consideration, I mean, he's had a few burglaries in the neighborhood, and he's got he's afraid. He saw the footsteps coming at him. He even screamed he said he screamed like a child. So obviously he wasn't expecting the guy to come at him that quick, and he just panicked and fired off a few rounds. He wasn't. I don't think even. It doesn't even seem like he was aiming. I don't think he even knew where he hit until after the gun smoke cleared. I believe that second degree murder would definitely be too much of a harsh penalty for him. And I also don't think that I'd be able to get self-defense, considering from the justification standpoint, there's nothing besides maybe the footsteps that could justify the defense of self-defense. I don't think a jury would ever find that. Maybe if he was killed and he was found to have weapons on him, maybe that would have something to do with it. I know that he's got like marijuana and some alcohol in his system, but I don't think that's enough to prove that the man was aggressive. I definitely don't think it's self-defense. Even the shed could be argued to not even be his immediate dwelling. It's obviously his property. The guy's trespassing, but just because he's out in the shed, you could call the police, and the police can come deal with it. It's not like he's inside your house where he's threatening your children and his girlfriend. So I see no way that it could be self-defense, and I think my client would not want me to do that. So what I want to do is do a plea agreement for involuntary manslaughter, which would ultimately says that is usually anywhere from 10 to 15 months in prison, which is a hell of a lot better than 10 years in prison. And I think it would be pretty easy to prove that. And I think it would be hard for the prosecution to prove that the man knowingly killed the trespasser. But just I understand their side. I understand the prosecution side is they could say he came out there with a gun. He didn't have to leave the house. He stalked the guy even. He looked at his footsteps, but I think it's still a stretch. I think that in the end he involuntarily shot the guy. It was a reckless act that induced out of fear, and I don't believe that there's any way that he can be got for second degree murder. Thank you.